Leading up to the highly anticipated Anthony Joshua-Oleksandr Usyk bout, everyone seems to have a lot of advice for AJ. Most seem to believe that his chances of winning are pretty slim, and he'll have to put in an extraordinary performance to triumph. And in today's video, we're going to talk about fellow British boxer Joe Joyce's opinion on what AJ needs to do to get a win. Let's dive in. First off, Joe Joyce claims AJ needs to be aggressive. Joyce will be watching the fight in Jeddah very closely. After all, he's currently the #1 contender for the WBO title, one of the 3 belts that'll be up for grabs on August 20th. Plus, he even has a personal relationship with both. He boxed both Usyk and Joshua as an amateur fighter, and when he was on the GB squad, he and AJ sparred countless times. In an interview with Sky Sports earlier this week, he said that he believes Usyk's going to win, unless of course AJ changes his style and becomes an offensive fighter once again. He reminisced about their sparring days and said that he used to really enjoy going toe-to-toe with AJ, but over the years he's just become more defensive and seems to be on the back foot at all times. Speaking on the first Usyk-AJ fight, Joe said that AJ seemed very tidy in his technique, footwork and everything, but he was trying to outbox Usyk. Instead, he should have roughed him up a bit more inside and taken some chances with pot shots. And if you've been following this story, you'll know that Joe isn't the first one to say this. A lot of people have pointed out that Joshua's strategy in the first match was less than ideal, and this time around he'll have to try and take down his opponent in the first few rounds. And now, Joe believes AJ's been scared to engage lately. Joe said that AJ's defensive strategies were perhaps most apparent in the Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch. The 33-year-old was scared to engage because he was put down in the first fight and he was trying to take a more conservative approach. And then Joe brought up the fight with Vladimir Klitschko and said that had Klitschko been a more aggressive fighter, he would have won against AJ as well. Okay, so we have to say, there seems to be a lot of disrespect for Anthony lately. He needs to use this as motivation to prove everyone wrong. But according to Joyce, even if AJ takes a more aggressive approach, he still won't come out on top. He pointed out the fact that Usyk has already beaten the Brit once, and he'll know exactly what to do this time around as well. He claimed that this is going to be super tough because Usyk is just 3-4 steps ahead of him. Joe and Usyk fought over 5 rounds back in 2013, and he had nothing but praise for the Ukrainian. He recalled that bout and said that his opponent was easily slipping his punches and moving his feet really well, but he believes that he was landing some big shots and it wasn't one-sided at all. And surprisingly, he thinks he put up a much better fight than Joshua. Okay, so who does he want to face for the heavyweight titles? Joyce is fighting Joseph Parker on September 24th, and if he manages to win that bout, he'll remain the WBO #1 heavyweight contender and will face the winner of the August 20 bout. But while he thinks Usyk will win, he wants Joshua to surprise him. He explained this by saying that ever since AJ won the gold medal at the 2012 Olympics, the boxing scene has exploded once again, and he's been at the forefront of it. So he obviously believes that a fight with his compatriot will be an incredible moment for boxing, and honestly, we agree. And now, he recently analyzed the fight even more closely on ESPN. Speaking to ESPN, Joyce said that AJ's the bigger man physically, and he has to be the big man in the ring and use his power to his advantage. He explained that if the Brit can land his power shots, he's got a chance. He was getting frustrated in the first fight because he just couldn't land, but if he uses some different offensive combinations this time around, who knows? He might come out on top. He pointed out that AJ has changed his trainer, and the new one, Roberto Garcia, is known for encouraging his fighters to take an aggressive approach. But he repeated once again that his money is on Usyk because, at the end of the day, the Ukrainian is just the technically superior fighter. So why is this fight so huge? Okay, so here's the thing. This match could potentially decide Joshua's career. If he loses, we really don't see how he can come back from this. Even Johnny Nelson said this, because there's no chance of a trilogy fight if he doesn't do well this time around. And we doubt he'd be willing to go back and work his way up to the top for another shot at his titles. So if he wins, he'll silence everyone who's been underestimating him. But if he loses, this may be the end of the road, which is why he's been training harder than ever before. But don't forget, this is also a super important fight for his opponent, Oleksandr. Do you know that he spent a good chunk of this year defending his motherland against the invading Russian forces? According to him, he only decided to participate in this bout because his fellow soldiers told him to do so. They urged him to go and bring his country pride, so you can be sure that he'll want to win this fight at all costs as well. He's also gained around 15 kilograms for the bout and is looking stronger than ever before. And how is all of this related to Tyson Fury? You may be familiar with the entire Fury saga. One day he's retired, the next day he's asking for a trilogy fight versus Derek Chisora, and then a few days later he's confirmed his retirement on Instagram and thanking everyone who's helped him on his journey. Seriously, make up your mind, and preferably come back, because boxing is just not the same without you. Many seem to believe that he'll be tempted to return after the August 20th bout because he'll have an opportunity to become the first undisputed world heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis, who held the titles way back in 2000. Plus, people have been asking for a fight between him and AJ for years and years now. So if Anthony wins, the chances of the Gypsy King taking his retirement back will definitely increase. And come on, we all want that. The world of boxing is a much more exciting and thrilling place when Tyson's in action, and it seems like AJ has been listening to all the chatter. Speaking to Sky Sport News, Joshua said that he always goes into fights wanting to outbox his opponent, and on Saturday, he's going to smash Usyk. He reflected on his time as an amateur and said that back then, most of his competitors were more skilled and experienced. He only won against them because of his aggression. Over the years, he's tried to develop as a more well-rounded athlete, but he can't take his eye off the factor that brought him to where he is today. He believes that this time around, his competitive spirit is going to overcome all obstacles and he will find a way to get his belts back. He added that even if he wins this bout against Usyk, he won't consider himself to be the best heavyweight in the world because he hasn't beaten Fury yet. He explained this by saying that until you're retired, you have to continue to prove that you're the best in the world. Finally, what does Usyk have to say? Speaking on his weight gain, Usyk revealed that during the first month of the war, he lost around 10 pounds because of the stress and worry. But then he started preparing. He quickly gained weight and his team put in a lot of work to strengthen his body. He added that the main thing is that he feels incredibly fit and strong, and he's really going to prove this in the ring. And he's not taking anything for granted. While he's going to walk into the ring as a champion, he doesn't believe that it's going to be any easier. He knows that he still has to do his job properly, and it's not going to be a simple assignment at all. He expressed that, more than anything, he wants to help his people, his country, and maybe they'll get to have a party on the big night. Honestly, everything is pointing towards this being an absolute cracker of a fight, and we just cannot wait. May the best man win. And that's a wrap for this video. Do you think AJ stands a chance against Usyk, or is he going to get dominated once again? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.